Welcome to our deep relaxation class.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's deep relaxation offering. I just want to take a moment, as always, to recognize all the hard work that our Eldersburg branch librarians put into these classes, making them available on our YouTube channel, which you can search at any time and take the classes for free. You can do that by searching Library CCPL, and that will bring up a bunch of different playlists. I think at this point we have a yoga and health playlist with 50 or 60 or more videos, which you can scroll through and visit at any time for free. My name is Bryan Nupp, and I'll be your guide and facilitator in today's deep relaxation session. We'll use elements from yoga and mindfulness and different breathing techniques inspired from my yoga teacher training to help us find a certain kind of cool and calm here on our Wednesday evening. So if you haven't already, just find a comfortable place to sit in a nice, clean, open space. You can be sitting at the edge of a chair or a sofa or on the floor or on some cushions, wherever you feel comfortable and supported. And we'll just get right into it. You can let your hands relax on your knees or down by your side or folded over in your lap. So your body can just be comfortable here, and your hands can also just sort of help you start to ground here. We'll just begin by just becoming mindful, bringing that mindfulness element into our natural breath. So without trying to modify or change your breath, just observe whatever's going on. If there's any kind of story or discomfort with your breath, just be aware of that. Sometimes just a little awareness can help us sort of soften the edges of something going on. We'll just take about the next 30 seconds or so and begin to observe our breath. If you're comfortable, you can let the eyes close or just gently turn your eye gaze down towards the floor. And either with the eyes closed or the eyes turned down, begin to visualize something or someone that makes you smile, that brings a feeling of warmth to your being. And start to cultivate that inner smile now and place it somewhere in your body, wherever it naturally arises, wherever that inner smile hits you, bring your awareness there. For some people, it's literally in their mouth where they start to smile. For others, it's in their heart. Some people might even feel it deep in their belly. Wherever you find that smile in your body, start to focus on that area. Start to focus on the catalyst for that smile. And see if you can just start to radiate this sort of happiness, this contentment, as you focus on that thing, that person, whatever it might be, that situation that brings you some happiness. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to touch in front of the chest and just pause in gratitude for that reminder of that person or thing or situation that brings you a little more happiness into your day. Those moments and experiences, although fleeting, the happiness comes and it goes. We can remember that a little part of it is always inside of us. It's something that we can always pause and reflect on and reconnect with. As you inhale next, go ahead and bring your hands up and overhead. Start to take a stretch here in your comfortable seat. Turn your palms and fingers up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, we'll take some big shoulder movements here, pressing our hands out to the side, and then just slowly melting our fingertips back down towards the floor. Let's go ahead and do that 4 or 5 more times with our in-breath, reaching the hands up, extending through the fingertips, keeping the shoulders soft, and then slowly pressing the hands away. Let's go about that one more time, following all the way through with your exhalation, and then go and just bringing your hands on your lap. We'll just go ahead and move through 2 more seated exercises for our warm-up. So first we'll move into a seated version of cat and cow. This is going to work on core stability as well as the different movements of the spine, frontal and kind of making like a concave and convex shape with the spine. So just like our cat and cow we practice on our hands and knees, it will be a similar movement, albeit a little different. So you're going to start by inhaling and lifting up through your chest, kind of pushing your tailbone back into the floor, and you'll start to feel that concave shape in the lower back. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin in, start to scoop your tailbone forward and round through the shoulders. And then inhale, reverse, and repeat. Big breath in, crown of the head reaches up, shoulders back and down. Good. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin in, scoop the tailbone forward. Wonderful. And we'll do this for about 30 more seconds at your own pace. And then go ahead and find your comfortable seat. We'll close our seated warm-ups with a gentle seated twist. So just as it sounds, we're going to move. This is going to be great for our core flexibility and mobility. Little trunk rotation here. We're going to focus on twisting from the belly button up. So we'll start by going over to the left. If you want to, you can windmill that left hand around behind you. Bring your right hand across to left knee, and then follow through with the head and neck, looking over that left shoulder. Take about 5 or 6 breaths here. Make sure as you inhale, you reach up through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. And with that last exhalation, relax the shoulders and then turn the head and neck back to center first. Release the hands and allow the trunk to reset front and center. So we'll do the same exact thing on the other side. You can just windmill that right hand around behind, reach that left hand over to right knee, completing the twist by turning head and neck to look over right shoulder. When you're ready, bring the head and neck back to center, release the hands, and return to your centered position here, facing forward. Very good. So we'll take our time now to transition to a standing position where we'll do a few more warm-ups and then get into some sun salutations. So take your time, come to standing. Make sure that your area of practice is clear and free of any props. You can just move those to the side for now. If you have a block, you can keep that around. If you need to grab a drink, now's a fine time to do that. All right, and go ahead and come right to the center of your mat. Go ahead and kind of just shake everything out, and then just shift the weight back into the heels and forward into the balls of the feet. Do that a few times, and then see if you can even shift the weight into the outside edges of the feet, lifting your arches. You're going to kind of feel something happen in your IT bands and glutes when you do that. And then go ahead and just pick the shoulders up. Relax the shoulders back and down. Let the chin be parallel to the floor. Let your thumbs turn to face forward, or even rotate through the wrists so that the palms turn forward. And we're going to start with a nice side body lengthening stretch. These are always so wonderful. We'll go ahead and just reach this right hand up and overhead and all the way over to the side. If you want, you can assist with the left hand, using that left hand to lengthen the right arm a little further. Now we want to be careful to keep this elbow pointed up towards the ceiling so we can maximize the benefit of that side body stretch. Remember to breathe and then come back through center and switch. Let's do that one more time on each side. Last time. Great job. Relax the hands back down by your side. So now we'll move into some spinal twists, some more trunk rotation and core mobility movements that also benefit other parts of our body. So we're going to step our feet a little wider. And this time we're going to use the power generated by rotating through the trunk. And we're just going to twist side to side, and the arms are going to follow along for the ride. You can let the shoulders, arms, and hands in turn just remain relaxed. And they'll sort of slap along the side, the lower back or hips. And you can sort of use the sound of the tapping hands like a metronome to keep count of your breath. And this is the part of class where we'll start trying to modify the breath, increasing our inhalations And then really focusing on that longer exhalation. That's going to really assist with that deep relaxation process. Twisting for 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands to your hips. You can step your feet just an inch or two wider still and start to just circle the hips. Start with just slow, kind of tight circles, and then gradually start to increase that orbit, taking it all the way around. And as you continue, you can start to hinge from the hips, reaching the crown of the head forward, gradually increasing the sort of the depth of that hip circle. And in turn, as you start to hinge from the hips and let the crown reach forward, you're going to start to access a nice stretch, nice warm-up stretch for those hamstrings, in addition to some of this hip mobility. So we'll do this about 45 seconds in one direction, then we'll switch. Excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose really quick. Keep going with your hip circles. And when you're ready, just pause and reverse the direction of those hip circles. Great job. All right, so we'll move into our first balancing aspect of today's class with a little balance warm-up. We're going to start by taking a yoga block out in front of us here. You can come and stand on your mat. I'll stand sort of to the side here so you can maybe see a little better. So what we're going to end up doing is practicing this mindful movement with the leg. I'm going to start by shifting the weight over into my left leg and then just lifting and tapping my toe to that block. And then lifting, raising the knee, and then tap, 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 just like that. And you want that block to kind of land right underneath the bend of the knee when you put your foot out in front of you. You're just going to do that 10 times. Once you've done that about 10 times, we're going to switch, shift the weight over into the right side so that we can lift our left foot. Keeping that bend in the knee and just really focusing on kind of strengthening these stabilizing muscles, the hip flexors. This also does a little bit of glute activation here. Once you've done that 10 times, go ahead and put your foot back down. And so now to move into a secondary balancing practice, a mindful movement, we're gonna actually, you can just knock that block over. We don't necessarily need it. If you like to have it as kind of like a 12 o'clock point out in front, you're welcome to keep it there. This time what we're going to do is balance on one foot, and we're going to, with the toes flexed, cross one foot over in front of the other, tap the heel or touch the toes, and then rotate this foot all the way back around like a hand on a clock. Right foot comes all the way back around to touch as far as we can behind us. It's very unlikely it's going to go much further than maybe 8 o'clock or 7:30. If it does, it's a little bit bizarre, but cool for you. So we'll go ahead and do that a few more times. If you need to kind of just tap the foot along every point or so, you can do it that way as well. If you want to try it all in one flowing movement, you can. So do that for about the next 30 seconds on your own, and then we'll switch sides. Your hands can do whatever your hands need to do to sort of help you through this balance challenge. And go ahead and place that right foot down. You'll feel how that left leg and glute worked hard to keep us up as we moved there. So go ahead and kind of just shimmy the hips out, shake everything out to help reset, kind of shake the feet out too. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, you can stand with your left foot out in front. Oh, I'm sorry, we'll do right foot this time, excuse me. And then we'll balance on that right leg, and then the left leg will be mindfully moving in a counterclockwise circle, kind of orbiting around that right leg this time. Just about 10 more seconds. And then bring that left foot back next to right. Take a couple of just high steps in place, reset the legs. And we're going to move into our sun salutations now. So we're going to come to stand at the top of our mat. Let me shift this back just a little bit here. All right. So come to stand at the top of your mat, shoulders relaxed, back and down. Feet evenly spaced under shoulders. And we'll start with a big breath in, hands reaching up, hips gently press forward, little back bend here. Exhale, hinge from the hips, relax the hands down towards shins or floor. Inhale up halfway, lengthen through the spine. Hands can stay just above the knees, or you can reach the hands out to the side. Exhale again, hands frame the feet, and this time we'll step the right foot back and soften that right knee down, coming into a low lunge here. You can stay here with the fingertips on the floor, or if you wish, you can lift the hands up and overhead, or alternately, just keep those hands in Anjali Mudra, that position with palms touching in the center of the chest. And as you're here, you can start to shift that front foot forward just a little bit, engage in the hips and gently press the hips forward. You'll feel that big stretch in the quad and hip flexor on that right leg. Slowly let the hands frame that front foot. We're going to prepare to step this front foot back to downward facing dog. To do so, we're going to lift that back knee, step the front foot back, and then we're lifting the hips up high, grabbing at the floor with our fingertips and palms, gently pull the elbows in towards one another. Relax the head. You can even gently make a little nod yes and a gentle shake no. Tilt the tailbone away, maybe bending one leg while you straighten the other. This is also called taking the dog for a walk. And then slowly lower knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Scoop the hips forward. We're relaxing forward on our bellies with the hands under shoulders. As you inhale, pull the elbows in close to the side body. Gently retract the scapula. And inhale, lift head, neck, and chest for just a baby cobra pose. When you're ready, tuck the toes, press back through tabletop. Options, there's always a few options. You can come and rest in child's pose, or if you wish, return to downward facing dog. This time we're going to step the right foot up in between the hands, soften that left knee to the floor. Whatever option you choose for your lunge on one side, try and repeat that here now. Let the hands frame the front foot. We're going to step our back foot forward now to come into our standing forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, relax, release. Inhale, slowly come all the way back to standing. Hands rise last. Exhale, hands relax in front of the chest. Great job. Make any little adjustments you need to. Grab a drink if you wish, and then we'll prepare for our second set. All right. So for our next set of sun salutations, we're going to add in a few additional movements. So So when you're ready, go ahead and come back to the top of your mat, hands resting in front of the center of the chest. Inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead, little back bend here. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Option 1, you can stay here in this forward fold. Option 2, come up halfway. Option 3, if you want, you could try and lift the toes up and see if you can't bring your fingertips underneath of the toes. Release that. Inhale up halfway to reset all together. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. We'll step our left foot back this time, softening that left knee to the floor. Inhale, hands reach up, coming into that kneeling lunge if you can. And then hands rest in front of the center of the chest. We're going to move into our prayer lunge twist. So hands staying in this formation, we're going to twist just like we did in our seated warm-up, using that trunk mobility and rotation to rotate over to the right. Now you can stay right here if you wish. Otherwise, you can bring the back of that left arm across. You might like to stay right here. Further options, you can lift that back knee up off the mat. You might even extend one or both arms while you're here. These are all just options or additional aspects of the one basic lunge twist, which is very good on its own. When you're ready, slowly come back through those steps, back to center, and go ahead and let the hands frame that front foot. While we're here with that right leg out in front, we're going to lift the back knee up and start to straighten the front leg. And not only straighten the front leg, but we're taking this right glute and pulling it back, really starting to lengthen that hamstring. And then slowly set the knee down and bend. And again, lift the back knee, straighten the front leg. You might need some yoga blocks to kind of help you with this here. And we'll just do that a couple more times, really lengthening that hamstring. Good. Relax the hands back down. We're going to step back to our downward facing dog once again. This time you can stay in down dog, lower your knees to rest in child's pose, or if you wish, reach that right leg up high behind, rotate the ankle. You might even bend the knee. Lower that right foot down, repeat on the other side. Lower both feet, lower down knees, chest, and chin. Slowly come forward. A couple of options. One is the basic low cobra. 2, you could slide the forearms forward and rise into Sphinx. Keep the shoulders relaxed, back and down. One more nice slow breath in through the nose. As you exhale, relax chest, chin, forehead back towards the floor. Tuck the toes, your choice, child's pose or down dog. This time we're going to step our left foot forward. We're going to move through our prayer twist on this side. So take a moment, find your stability through the core. Hands back into that prayer position in front of the chest. And then slowly just simply rotate, twisting from the core, turning over to your left. Now you might just choose to stay there in that upright twist. If you want to add on to it or build on that, you're welcome to follow the same method we did last time. Take your time to come back through the sequence to that regular lunge, hands framing front foot. We'll complete our sun salutation by starting to step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, slowly come all the way to standing. Big breath in, chest lifts, hands rise last. Exhale, hands relax in front of the chest. Very good. So we're going to make our way down to our mats. We're going to lie down on our backs. And we're just going to hug the knees in towards the chest. You can hug one knee or both knees in towards the chest. I was just made aware that we missed our hamstring lengthening exercise on that left side. So we're going to work a little alternative hamstring lengthening movement for that left side now. So what we'll do is simply straighten that left leg. Go ahead and walk your hands like a little ladder up that left leg as far as your arms will go without straining. And then pull that left leg just gently in towards the direction of the chest. Doesn't have to come very far. This will sort of help stretch the same muscles just from a different angle that we missed in our sun salutation just then. If you want to, you can bring a little bend in the knee like we did to reset, and then try and straighten again. See if you can't get a little bit more of a stretch. And then go ahead and relax both legs back down, bend in the knees, feet on the floor. Go ahead and just gently start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. So we're going to step our feet about as wide as our mat and let the knees roll in towards one another. You can stay stationary here, and you can do this on your own time for upwards of 12 or 15 minutes. And this simple alignment of feet wide, knees stacked in towards the center line is something called constructive rest. It's used in physical therapy and in yoga therapy to help realign the SI joint, which is in the lower back. For people with lower back inflammation or chronic pain or any kind of SI joint misalignment, this is really great for helping correct that. So we don't have the time to be here for 15 minutes right now, but just so you can kind of put this in your back pocket and use it for later. What we'll do instead is build off this beneficial alignment, and we're going to just add in just a little bit of a kind of pelvic roll. And what that's going to do is just kind of start to stretch some of those muscles around the glute medius and lower back. So you're just going to kind of scoop the pelvis, maybe feel that tailbone lift a little off the floor as you kind of squeeze everything towards the middle line. And then just relax, maybe even just bringing that sort of cat-cow rotation through the pelvis. And we'll just do that for about 30 seconds or so. Very good. Relax the legs. We're going to move into an eagle leg wrap for one of our last lying down practices here. We'll probably try and get a twist in real quick if we can. So all we're going to do is cross one leg over the other. Start to bring the knees in towards the chest. And then if you can, you're going to wrap that right leg around the left leg one more time. It's okay if it doesn't want to go all the way though. And then you're just going to start to kind of squeeze those legs together and hug the knees in towards the chest. Relax the face. Make sure the jaw is relaxed, teeth unclenched. And just take 2 more deep breaths here. Slowly lower that left leg back down, uncross the right leg, and prepare to switch sides. So we'll cross left over right this time, squeezing the thighs together, hugging those knees in towards the chest. Next exhalation, lower that right foot, uncross left leg. And it looks like we'll have to move right into our Shavasana for tonight. So we'll just go ahead and straighten those legs out, put our arms out to the side. If on your own time, you want to close your practice and you want to extend it by adding any additional poses, you can certainly do that in your own way, in your own time now. But for our class parameters and time limits, we're going to transition to Shavasana. So you'll simply just pick up the arms, drop them, pick up each leg, gently lower it, just sort of relax everything into place. And we'll just rest here quietly for about 1 minute or 90 seconds more. If you want to, you can gently scan with your body awareness through the physical body and just use a body scan practice to deepen your relaxation here. You can do this by just mentally picturing each part of the body one at a time and just sending a little mental cue for that part of the body to release and relax. Start to deepen your breath, breathing in the nose, breathing into the chest, breathing deep into the belly. Exhale slowly out the nose or mouth. Take 3 more breaths like that. You're welcome to lengthen your practice by staying here as long as you need to. Otherwise, you can start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Just very slowly reawakening and bringing some movement back to the body. You can take your time and roll over onto your left side and just pause there a moment. When you're ready, just gently use your arms to help return to a comfortable seated position. You can bring the hands to touch in front of the chest and just pause for a final moment of reflection and gratitude. Let the head bow towards the heart. Om Shanti. May peace be within you and go with you. Shanti is Sanskrit for peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste, friends. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful experience and can carry this peace and relaxation